Hi everyone, we've had a few requests through asking us how to take cuttings of pelargoniums. Firstly, to sort of increase the amount of pelargoniums you have, but also as a bit of an insurance policy to get you through the winter should there be any sort of issues. So as you can see, we have been busy taking lots of cuttings ready for next year. So what we thought we'd do is a quick video showing you how to take a cutting, and it's using scented leaf Pelargonium Radula, which is really good for making cakes with, taking you through the process of stripping the foliage down, taking the cutting and putting them in, ready to get them rooted and looking after them over winter. So let's take a look. So taking cuttings, we've got here some material that we've cut back from our scented leaf. This is a radula, and what we would do here, we would sort of look at, okay, we want a decent sort of cutting from this. So you can see there we've got a nice growth tip, and we want sort of, you know, decent length on there, so we can sort of visualize that we've got a bit of a cutting there. And by the time you see it at the end, where you see what a cutting looks like, you start to be able to then see the cuttings on that. So let's go ahead, let's just chop that bit off. So we'll focus on this one bit at the moment. So all we're going to do is just take off the leaves. So take off a lot of the leaves and some of these sepals as well. And then what we end up with is a decent sort of looking cutting like that. Now, one of the biggest pieces of advice I would give is if you've got a weak cutting, you'll have a weak plant and it'll struggle and it might not survive. So you need a decent cutting to make, or a strong cutting to make a strong plant. The big bit that people can tend to get a bit worried about is, okay, where do I cut? Now, as you can see, where we've taken the leaves off, we've got these little bits that jut out here. These are the nodes. So what you want to do is just take a cut just beneath the node there, and that would make a good cutting. So that would make a good cutting. You don't want too much leaf on there because it will lose a lot of its moisture. So keep that, bear that in mind. So now when we're looking at, you know, this is the remnants of what we've got left, you can now see that where that cutting, where I was talking about before, you can get a decent sort of cutting out of it. So take off some of this excess leaf. Smell of this radula is fantastic. It smells like the cakes that we make with it. And there we go. I would take that one off as well. There you go. That's looking like a decent cutting. And then what we would do is just find the node and just cut below there, and there we go, we've got some decent cuttings. So you've got your cuttings there. What we would then do is use a good quality seed compost, so low in nutrients, and this has got a bit of vermiculite mixed in just to open up the compost a little bit. If you were doing this at home, I would take a pot. This is a 9 centimetre or 3.5 inch pot. Soak it, so make sure your compost is nice and moist and firm down. So I tend to use just a pot to firm it down like that. Then all you need to do is push your cuttings in, not too far, just down the side of the pot, like so. Where's that other one gone? There we go. There you go. Just firm those in, and then I would give that a, water if it's a bit dry, and then put that somewhere fairly shaded, not too sunny, and then within a few weeks you should get some decent roots. Now I've put 4 in that pot, and I put them around the side of that pot because you want to keep the roots quite compact. You don't want them sort of going everywhere. If you can imagine that, if you had a pot, however big, that was like that, and you stuck just a little cutting in the middle there, it's going to take a long while to sort of fill that pot up with roots, and the roots kind of go, oh, I don't know where to go. But keeping them sort of compact in against the surface like that, gives them plenty of room to grow, but also allows the roots to go, oh, I can't go that way, and sort of get quite established as strong root ball. If they're sort of in here, there's a good chance they're going to be sort of wobbling around and not going to get established as a strong plant as quickly as you want it to. So yeah, put those to one side, keep them fairly sheltered, keep them moist, and they will hopefully root within a few weeks. So there you go. Hopefully you managed to follow that, and before you know it, you'll have lots of really strong, healthy plants that will see you through the winter and put on a great display next year and smell absolutely delicious. So until next time, happy growing.